Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, so we've got our hole bored, and we're all set to go there. What we need to do now is cut the perimeter around the outside of this hole. And you can see that in the piece itself. And I believe that center line goes straight down the middle of this dooley bop here. Let me see how square up center line is with, yeah. Center line is totally square up with that line right there. So that's going to be reasonably easy, and it looks like this line too. So that'll be fairly easy. All right, so what we've got is, and I believe it's back here, 17 millimeters, which transposes into 669 thousandths radius. So the way we're going to find that is with a tack follower. 669 thousandths from center. So 3, 4, 5, 6. $69. Boy, that just barely made it too. Okay, so now we're just going to scribe that, just because we're not sure where our connecting line is. That's good for that. And that's good for that. Well, maybe I should go a little further on the other one. Yeah, that should do the trick. Let's bring it back to 0. There's 0 right there. Lock it. And if everything is parallel, then from our connecting place, let's come back to 0 this way. There's 0, and then we're going to go 669 this way. 669. $666. We want 669. And that should just drop right in. And then we should just strike ourselves a line. And there's our line. And back to 0. $669 on the other side. Drop that down. And we've got our second line. Now take it to 0. And then I just want to strike a line out here just to tell me where to stop my radius. Okay. And I would say that looks pretty good. Okay, so we've got our 4 of our 5 holes drilled. This is our last hole, and we're going to go ahead and punch that baby out. Okay, so we've got our holes done, and we're all set to go as far as the layout. Now all we need to do is come in and figure out what our perimeter is going to look like, and then also we've got to do some different height things. So I think we're going to go have a little lunch at this point, and we'll come back and have a little more fun. See you in a few. Okay, so we've got our holes drilled, and those are really, in a sense, the only accurate things that have to be dealt with on this piece. Everything else is reasonably random. Well, not wildly random, but you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a pin down into that hole there, and then drop another pin down into that hole there. That indexes this whole piece so that it's pretty snug. And then we're going to come in and just trace out our perimeter so that we can come in and cut it out with the mill bit. And the places that are actually touching, I can just literally go along with a scribe and cut my lines. Now the one place that has to be reasonably accurate, there's a little radius right in here, but even that is, you know, it just has to be a clearance radius. Okay, and then the only place we really need to work accurately, well, not even accurately, just reasonably accurately, is these 2 lines here, and they are already preset because they're parallel to the 90 degrees. So all we have to do is take this thing apart. We've got our basic design drawn. In fact, you know, No, we can do that later. And we got to make sure we're on 0 or 180, whichever one. And I believe we are. Yep, we're on 180. So then we come in and we strike a line, and we can pretty much use our tap follower just in the drill head, no big deal. And come in this way. Drop our tap follower down. Let's see what we've got here. There it is. You put just a little bit of pressure on it and then drag it across our metal. Okay. And then take the pressure off, come back. Bring it over to the other side. Drop that down. And that looks to me like the number right there. A little bit of pressure. And I think that's going to do it. I believe that this line intersects with this line someplace further up the way there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's see how it intersects. Yep, that's just about right. I think that's going to be what we want. You know what I think might be a really cool thing to do at this point is to come in and literally saw off all this excess stuff rather than try to cut it off. So let's do that, and we can come back to this center line and reset this thing. And in reality, we don't need to do anything but just reset it to kind of get a random, or not random, but just a semi-accurate measurement. Let's just take it apart and recut it. And we're going to go over the saw. We'll be back. Okay, now we're squaring up that first surface. Okay, we got 4 facets complete. Well, maybe even 5. Oh no, that was cut. And so we have to come in and cut this back side, and then we're ready to start plunging and cutting the interior parts. And then of course we have to turn it and cut some more, but you know, one thing at a time. what we're going to do now, and I want to hold this same position each time I rotate this because I have the rotary table, and I can gauge my. Let's see, can we get that? Yeah, I can gauge my. Now we're going to need a longer one. The angles of each cut by the rotary table itself. Maybe I'll bring it over to the other side and I'll show you. You can see that I wrote down on this surface here, because when I come back and cut this back side, it's got to be pretty much the same angle. Well, no, it's got to be exactly the same angle. So what I have here, this coordinates here is 93 degrees plus 20 minutes. And certainly the rotary table will do that. So we're going to get a longer one of these. And we want to just sit down over the top of that hole pretty much. That looks pretty good. Maybe we're a little bit low. Okay. Let me get this better over the top of that hole. There we go. Nice and snug. And then we got to pull this one off so we can get this set up here. Or get to that area. And I'm thinking we could probably just come in like this. And I like to have 3 points. And that way if I run into a place where whoa, look at that. I didn't do this surface yet either. So, okay. Well, we'll tighten this up. Okay, and we need to do this back surface. So let's bring this over someplace like right there. And we can move it later, no big deal. Yeah, we got to get rid of the spacer too. Okay, there we go. What happened? What's going on? Oh, I'm cocked way back there. I knew something was rotating on me. There we go. Okay, we're down nice and snug. Bring our bit back up. We're going to rotate our table. And we're about ready to run out of battery, as usual. Okay, there's almost 90 degrees. And we're going to go I got a couple batteries down at the house. We're going to go get the battery and we'll be back. Okay, we're back with a fresh battery. We're almost at 90 degrees from the table. And we could do some heavy duty measuring to get this angle right. Or I'm just going to just run past it and see how it looks once I get a good clean cut. And then maybe adjust it one way or the other as as needed. So let's go ahead. Okay, we got a clean surface. Now, oh, and we need to mark the coordinates. And we are looking at 210, 215, 216, 30. Get myself a pen. Okay, so we've located our line to cut, and we've located our half circle to give ourselves enough space around this. And it looks like he wanted more space, but that's what we've got. So now I need to go in and take out all of this metal here. So what I'm going to do is come in with a heavy duty roughing bit and start chewing metal. Okay, we got our rough cut finished. Now we're going to come in with our finished bit and do this last 1/16 of an inch to smooth that out and to get that to kind of contour with this circle here. We'll come back in later and create this arch. But for right now, we're going to put our bit back in, or our finished bit back in, and we'll go from there. We'll be back. Okay, so we've got that surface all finished off. Notice there's these lines right down the center here. Now luckily the lines are raised because there's just a little bit of a chip in this bit, and it's really the only bit I have that's long enough, so we just have to do with it. But I'm going to come back in later and polish all of these surfaces anyhow, so it's not that big a deal. So we're going to mark this surface here because we want to come back to it. And right now, what is that? Coordinates. 269 and 35. to 69.35. Okay. And that has pretty much got our perimeter taken care of. Of course, we're going to come in and round these later on. And we're going to mess around changing bits and stuff like that. So I'll be back. Okay, so we're all set up. We're going to just go in and skim the top of this, maybe take 0.10 off of it, clean it up real good, make it real sweet, and then we come in and do the other side. Okay, we skipped just a little bit right there, but I think I'm just going to let that roll, and we'll call it a day with that. Once again, this is a visual surface. Okay, so now we remove our cutter heads, we rotate them over to here and grip, and then come over here and we cut this down to whatever surface we're working with. And I'll have to get that measurement in a minute, but for right now, we want to go parallel with this. Let's see what we've got here. It looks like this cut line here is perpendicular to our center line. So we'll come as close as we can to the center line, which is pretty easy to do, 161.33. $190, 70, 161.33. Now we have to figure out how far we want to go down and where we want that last line to be. So and I'm just wondering if, he sent me the drawing as a last minute revision, and then he also sent me the yeah, and it looks like he's still got it in the same spot. There's no problems there. So I think we're in pretty good shape. We can just measure from this. And that's pretty easy. And again, all of this is random measurements. Yep. From here to about there. Let's get that spinning. We'll kind of just slowly work our way up to it. Now, what comes from that line is we have to make a drop. Let's see if we can get this set up so you can see it. Uh-oh, we got a dead battery again. We'll be back. Okay, so we've got our line cut. That's this line here at the bottom of that taper. Let me show you here. and you can see it from that direction. This is going to go, we're going to cut a bunch of this away down to that line there, which is this line right here. So how much are we going to cut away? There's the big question right now. And let's get ourselves a straight edge. Drop it on here. Take a measurement. Okay, let's do it a second time just to make sure. There it is. And we have a measurement of 1 inch, 180 thousandths. 1 inch, 180 thousandths. And basically we're just going to go back and forth until we come up with that depth. Oh yeah, it's 1 inch, 180 thousandths minus 625. Yeah, that could be another bonehead mistake, huh? Let's just cut 10 and see what it does. Okay, so we've rotated this 90 degrees. We've set up our line, or our second part of the line, and we're just going to run a little, scrape a little line down here, just so that we know where we end up. We're going to drop this head over this way in order to get that angle correct. All right, 30 degrees. And see what that ends up getting us. So we're sitting at 30 degrees, and I think that looks just about right. We'll raise our table. Good start. Let's see what 30 degrees is going to do here. And it actually may be more. But let's give it a try and see what it looks like. It's hard to tell. Okay, so we're about what? Oh, 3/16 from this edge, and we're a good 1/4 inch from that edge. So we're not quite far enough over yet. So I think what we want to do is kick this thing over just a little further and see what happens. All right, and you may or may not be able to see it, but we have about, oh, I don't know, 1/8 between our line and the edge, and we have just about 1/8 between the bottom and the first edge there. So we're just going to kind of keep moving forward here and see what we can come up with. We got it. Nice crisp edge. We've got just a little bit of stuff right in here. I think just a little bit of a half round, or not a half round file, but a rat tail file. Just come in there and just kiss it a little bit, and we'll be set. All right, so we got that. Now the next thing we want to do, since we're here and we're ready to go, is we want to cut this hole. Let me get the model. We're going to cut this hole here and this hole here in this piece. And that should be a pretty good deal. So, and we will come back after lunch to do that, or maybe in the morning. I don't know, we got other things to do. It's about ready to rain out, and I'm getting pretty excited about that. We've had a long, hot summer, and let's call it a day.